Chelsie, congratulations so much on your win, which is already being
Mm.
talked about as one of the strongest winner performances in BB history.
Oh my
And you're
God.
the first woman to have a unanimous vote in the regular US show, non-celebrity. How does it feel soaking in this big accomplishment?
It feels amazing. I am over the moon. I came in here just wanted to get out of that microchip suit and make it past week one. So I did not imagine seeing myself this far, let alone with the resume that is being presented to me. I didn't know that. And so I feel so honored to play a game that I've been a fan of for years and not only play it, win it. So it's great. I feel so good.
Well, congratulations. Let's talk about the jury questions in your speech. Was there a
Yeah.
moment during that process where it clicked for you where you're like, I think I might have this?
Yes, there was a moment. There was a question that was asked to Mackenzie, where the jury stated they felt like there was a lot of decisions she made that were best for my game and not hers. And they wanted her to explain what moves she made for her. That's when I knew jury had been talking. Jury had evaluated both of our games, a lot of conversations back and forth, and they realized how much influence I had in this house. In that moment, I knew I won this game.
Well, there you go. So
Mm-hmm.
talk me through developing your speech and the messages that you wanted to hit for the jurors. And also how'd you land on the diamond metaphor? Because I feel like that was the big thesis statement there.
Oh my gosh. I knew when sitting next to Mackenzie at the end, the thing I would be going up against her is simply her competition wins. So I had to ask myself, what else did I have in this game? And I started to see my social game I had, my strategic game I had, and also it's not lost on jury that I won a lot of comps to compare to the comps that I played. So when I sat the night before thinking, how do I formulate a speech that gets them? I wanted to show them that my game had different perspectives. I was trying to find something to visualize it, and a diamond came to my head. If you look at different sides of the diamond, no matter how you look at it, you can look back and say, this thing is beautiful. And that's what I was trying so hard to display, that I didn't play a one sided game. My game was complex, but it was beautiful. And hopefully, I think I articulated that as best as I could.
Now you're a super fan. Were there any past jury questioning and final speech performances from past winners that you took inspiration from or lessons from when like figuring out what to say for yourself?
Yes. So Jag went in last year and his speech was the thing that got him to win the game. And so I modeled my directness off of Jag's speech, to be honest with you. But I my biggest thing was I was looking at different winners, seeing what was the reason that they won. And did I have some of that in my game? And how do I articulate it in the best way that I could? So I pulled inspiration from a couple winners to see what was the thing that gets jury. This season was specific. Our jury was emotional. You could see it in our votes all season. So I had to lay out facts, but also I had to pull in the heartstrings of the jury. And I think I did both.
What was a moment where you were pulling on those heartstrings?
My heartstring moment was me saying, your girl started from the bottom. I was your microchip, and everybody saw how vulnerable I was in that moment. And I made sure I led with something very vulnerable and ended with it would be an honor if they chose somebody like me who has been a super fan since I was 13 to win something like this. It would change my life. It was honest, it's not manipulative, but I know being honest to this jury, sharing my heart would be a thing that would sway them.
Now you said it was that first question to Mackenzie where you're like, I think I
Mm-hmm.
got this. Was there
Mm-hmm.
any part before that where you were worried?
Yeah, Angela's question to me, and then Angela's face. I was like, "Uh-oh, Angela's mad at me." But as I started to explain myself, I saw the jury start to change their demeanors and their facial expressions to see like, uh, I wasn't fully lying. I withheld a lot. There's multiple ways to play this game, and so Angela's question was alarming to me. But what they asked Mackenzie, I said, "Uh-oh, I think I got this one." So yeah.
Now, rewinding back to the final HOH, if you had gotten that tiebreaker question right and Mackenzie had gotten it wrong, you would have had a big decision on your hands.
Yeah.
Who would you have chosen and why?
Yeah. So I was torn. Like, do I make a decision that's smart, a head decision or a heart decision? Mackenzie and I have grown to become very, very close friends throughout the second part of this season. I have protected her and she has also protected me both ways. And so the night before finale night, I sat and I said, what do I feel like I would be more proud of, even if I lost the type of game that I played? And she played a heck of a game all season. And I felt like I had enough of my resume to leave number one. If I wanted anybody to be number two, I felt like she was more than deserving of it. So though I was close with Cam since day two, I would have taken Makensy simply because her and our backs are hurting a little bit from having to carry Cam. So I'm like, I know you ain't about to slide to final two this easy. I got to give this to my girl Makensy. She was worth the risk. I would have taken her.
Interesting. Both
Mm-hmm.
Makensy and Cam would have taken you. Makensy showed that. Cam said he would have, when it's extremely likely that they would have fared better, perhaps against each other in a final two.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
how was solidifying that loyalty and trust with each of them individually part of your strategy? Or was that something that happened more naturally? And then you were like, well, I got to keep these people around because we have this good bond.
Yeah, so Cam and I, that happened naturally since day two. So we've had longevity in this game where I knew at the end of it all, I've saved him in four of my HOHs, and she had only saved him twice. So I knew that he would have taken me far, and I know he wanted me to win early in this game. But Makensy, that was a shock for me. Second half of this game, we started to fight for each other because nobody else was kind of fighting for us. So it kind of naturally started to progress towards the end. I just didn't think that not only would she gravitate so much towards me, I didn't expect me loving her so much. And so the biggest threat I was willing to risk to take to the end. That was shocking for me. So it was natural relationships that developed that at the end of it all, I knew if both of them were there at the end with me, they would both take me, and I wanted that. So relationships paid off.
Now, if Makensy had cut you and taken Cam, who would you have voted for and why?
100% Makensy. 100%. Though she did a lot of things that weren't smart in this game, she fought her butt off. 11 competitions is absolutely crazy. So she was deserving of the win. Cam had a smart game, it was different, but Makensy fought. So I wanted that girl to win if it wasn't me.
Now, for you, you were in a strong position most of the game, but what was the most difficult part of the game for you to navigate? Was there a time where you really had to pull yourself up and like be resilient and figure a way to get back to the top?
Yeah, so day 35, when I was loyal to the Pentagon, I think most people saw that. I would have given my back for them to stand on. And so when not only does somebody in the Pentagon blow up the alliance, but I'm sitting next to two of my closest allies. When I got myself off the block on day 38, that's when I said, I need to reposition myself in this game. I never want to touch this block again. How do I do that? And it was what I stated in my speech. I went to work strategically, socially, and I won when I needed to. So day 38 is when I shifted gears and I said, I'm not touching that block anymore. I don't want to have to rely on winning to survive. I didn't like that feeling. So I said, how do I get out of this? And I didn't see the block again until tonight.
Well, there you go. And you made it to the
Mm-hmm.
end with
I know.
unanimous votes for you to win. Whose vote were you most worried about? Was there anyone that you were surprised gave you the vote?
Yeah, I was surprised with Angela and Leah. They both were close to Makensy, and I think they both knew I was a huge reason they were gone. I thought Quinn would be voting for Makensy because I thought he was just going to vote for a comp beast. I know he respected her game. And then Rubina, I thought she was going to throw a vote towards Makensy because of the speech Rubina gave when she was about to get evicted last week. So I thought it was going to be a 4-3 vote, Makensy winning this game. So I was shocked at the unanimous votes altogether. I did not expect that.
You thought it was going to be a 4-3 vote potentially with
Her
Makensy winning the game, and you still wanted to take Makensy over Cam.
100%, 100%. And that would have been probably the dumbest game move that I've made. But something told me the night before, follow your heart and do something that um, I would be proud of at the end of this game. And so, but something kicked in me this morning. If I sit next to her, I got a lot in my pocket that I can share. And I'm willing to take the risk. The thing that got me this far in my game also was the power of my words and my ability to communicate. I knew sitting on that block in a stressful situation, there's anybody that's able to use her words to elevate her game, I knew it was going to be me. So I was willing to risk it.
Well, the risk paid off. Congratulations on your game. What are you
Thank
going to do
you.
with this $750,000?
Well, a former Big Brother fan told me to, pay the government. So maybe I'll do that. Then I'll go get me some nice kicks, some ice cream, and sit next to my dog Junior and just enjoy normal life for a little bit.
Well, I hope you do enjoy this next chapter ahead. If we
Thank
ever
you.
get an all-winner season of Big Brother, are you playing again or are you one and done?
I am playing again. Count me in, Stephanie.
It is great to talk to you. Congratulations, runner up. That's not too shabby. What an accomplishment.
Thank you so
What,
much.
what mix of emotions are you feeling right now?
Honestly, just happiness. I don't have any regrets with how I played and who I chose in the end. I told myself coming into this game I wanted to play a game that I would respect, which to me is standing by my morals, standing by my faith, and doing what I could to promote just a good attitude, good vibes, and a good game. And that is exactly what I did. I stayed loyal to at least who helped me in the game, and I brought her to the end, and she won. She deserved it. She was an incredible player. Can't wait to watch it back. She probably did more moves than I ever expected. But I was just proud to be sitting right there next to her. I came to Big Brother to win, and I won a lot of comps. I got all the way to 90 days, and that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very dominant final too. And there's
Yes.
always like that tension in Big Brother about do I stay loyal and take my
Mm-hmm.
allies to the end, or like do I cut my allies to get a better odds at winning the game?
Yeah.
And you made it clear that loyalty was important to
Yeah.
you. Can you break down that decision and if you ever considered cutting Chelsie?
I never considered cutting Chelsie. I preached about this. Every decision I made was to benefit not only myself and this house, but people who I believed deserved to be in the end, as well as helped me. I didn't play a solo game. I won for myself. However, I played for a lot of other people. And that could be taken the wrong way. Maybe people will think I'm naive. Maybe people will think that I'm usable and whatever. To me, what that shows is my true character as being a loyal person, an honest person, and sticking true to my word, which that might have cost me $750,000, but what it didn't was my pride. And I am happy to walk out of this house knowing I made a decision that benefited my own self worth.
So, how are you feeling during the jury questions, the final speeches? I have to imagine that it's a very emotional time. You're processing a lot of information, you're getting all
Yeah.
these questions. What is going through your head at that moment?
Shoot, 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 shoot. The questions that the jurors asked were impeccable questions. And honestly, ones that were difficult to answer for me because I wasn't prepared for them. And I'm also not one that speaks as well as Chelsie. Chelsie is an incredible individual who knows how to carry herself and knows how to carry her words, which she did very well in the end. And I might have froze up, but they stumped me a bit. I I didn't have to think a lot about my game. My game was winning and take it from there. I after that, I didn't have much of a game plan because my game plan coming into this house had to completely alter. So my game spoke for itself. I didn't know how to have extra words for it.
Was there a specific question or anything that took you by surprise that now you've had like a little bit of time to process? You're like, oh, I wish I articulated that a little better.
Yes. And that question was people believe that Chelsie, that I made decisions based upon Chelsea's actions and I listened to her instead of making my own. And honestly, I wish that I would have agreed because looking back at it after walking out of that house, I kind of took a moment to myself and realized how I did play, what I could have done better. And maybe I did listen to Chelsie too much. Maybe I did take her word and not listen to my own gut. Maybe I did boot people that would have benefited me over her. But all in all, it got me to the final two. And it got me to the final HOH and me making a decision. And whether I can go back and change it, I wouldn't because I'm proud of the player that I was. I'm proud of the person that I was. And if that means being loyal and making decisions to help other people that I wanted to work with, then so be it.
You cited Leah's eviction at that example as a move that was benefited you more than Chelsie, and
Yeah.
Chelsie cited it as one that benefited her more than you. So for
Yeah.
that specific move, looking back, how do you perceive it now?
I do believe that it benefited both of us equally. If it is true that we were working together, then it benefited both of us equally because I was trying to take us both to the final two. So losing somebody who wasn't as close to working with Chelsie and wanted Chelsie out benefited me because I wanted Chelsie in there to be able to protect me. So it did benefit my game and it benefited who I want in the end. And so, being said, I still do believe I made that decision because nobody can make me make that decision. However, if I could redo it,
I might have thought a little bit more about it.
So you're sitting there as everyone's putting their keys in. What is
Yeah.
going through your head? Are you thinking about where the votes might lie, and what is your perception of it at the time?
Honestly, I knew I was going to lose. I I knew when listening to Chelsea's speech and knowing her game and knowing how people saw her game, as well as the questions that they asked and how she answered them, I knew that she was a player that was going to be hard to beat. And in those moments, she explained her game very, very well. Threw me under the bus a little bit, but as she should. And she did an incredible job. And I can't hold that against her. I knew that it was a long shot for me to win. My game really was just winning, and I survived. I made myself proud, and votes, I didn't need votes to show myself that.
Heading into your choice, where had you thought maybe the odds were?
I honestly thought that it was gonna be maybe like a 5-2-4-3 vote if I could have articulated my game better. But I just didn't. I didn't. I blanked. I got nervous under the pressure, and she held her weight. She explained everything very well on what she did and how she did it, and kind of how she manipulated me to do things for her too. So props to her. But what I can say is that I did my best. I played a game that I am so incredibly proud of. I may not have won Big Brother first place, but I won in my own heart, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure. And not only did you win in your own heart, you won three HOHs, including the final HOH, four
Yes.
vetoes, two
Yep.
AI arenas, the
Yep.
upgrade power,
Yep.
and you killed Ainsley.
I
So,
did. Yeah, it was
for
a pretty
that.
incredible season. That's what I'm saying. Even though I didn't walk out with the money, I walked out with a lot more.
What do you look back with most pride about your game?
My loyalty and my honesty. I never did anything I didn't say I was going to do. And other than put Angela on the block, I did do that. Oops. Um, but other than that, I really did play a game that stayed true to myself. A lot of people can lose themselves in this game. They can play a deceit game, they can lie, they can manipulate, but I didn't want to do that. I have worked a lot on myself in the past couple of years as a young woman. And coming into this house, I didn't want to lose that or change that. I wanted America and the house guests to see me for who I really was. And that is an honest, kind, graceful, winning woman. And I'm glad that I did what I did. I'm glad that I played how I played.
Yeah, you played the game you wanted to play for sure. If there was a chance for you to play the game in the future, would you approach it the same way, or would kind of showing people who you are in this way give you the opportunity to maybe be a little more devious in the future?
I think it would give me the opportunity to be devious, but if that opportunity presented itself, it would have to be with the right cast. I will say, Big Brother all depends on the cast you're with, as we probably saw this season because we had some characters. I love them all, incredible people, but your game changes based upon who you're in there with, 100%. So if I did it again, I would try and stay loyal to how I played this year, but I might have to lie a little bit more next time.
There were a lot of characters this season, one of which was Matt. You said that a conversation was due. Has that conversation been had?
That conversation has not been had. I have been busy, busy, busy after, getting second place. Lots of media, lots of just talking with people outside of the world, the Big Brother world, which has been nice. New faces. I am sure that I will see him very, very soon, and we will have a conversation.
Now, what is your plan for the 75K?
75K. You know, I spent all my money coming here on, yeah, so savings, as well as I bought a car right before I got here, so maybe pay off some of that, and then buy me some iced coffee because it's been a while since I've had a good iced coffee. Other than that, nothing much. I don't know what I'll do with it. Stay tuned. I'll let y'all know because I have no idea. I never thought I would come into this money, so I'm flabbergasted.
Well, excited for that. But before I let you go, what do you want fans, viewers to know about your experience playing Big Brother and your
Yeah.
game?
I want people to know that Big Brother is way harder than you expect it to be. It is not only a physical challenge, but a mental challenge. And I'm not talking about competitions, I'm talking about living in there. It is very difficult, it's very different, but it is an experience that I would not change for the world. You can take it and run with it in a way where you become somebody different, or you can take it in the way that I did. And I allowed it to shape me into a better woman, as well as show people the woman I am. And that is what I'm thankful for, because coming into this house, you don't know what you're going to get. And I didn't know I was going to get the game I got. But in all honesty, all glory to God for that, because it allowed me to show my true self even more.
Congratulations on third place and making it to finale night. That is a huge accomplishment. How are you feeling about your entire journey in the Big Brother house and how it ended tonight?
I am just so proud of my journey in the Big Brother house. It sucks that I didn't win, but top 3 is a huge accomplishment. So I'm just super happy about what I've done. And it's just been an overall great experience for me.
When you were speaking to Julie, you said that if you had won that final HOH, you were going to take Chelsie. Can you break down that decision for me and why she would have been your pick?
Oh, absolutely. Chelsea's been my A1 since day one. We have worked together since the first day. So I am a very loyal person, and I would be loyal up until the end. I think we both played a very similar game socially and throughout this whole game. So I think I would have had a good shot against her in the jury. So I definitely wouldn't go back on my word. I would definitely bring Chelsie.
What was that like to be able to see her play the game and got
Oh,
so rewarded for it tonight?
Oh yeah, she's a dog. She's a dog. She is personally one of my favorite Big Brother players that I have ever watched in all of the season that I watched the Big Brother. She is just very good socially when it comes to winning the comps. She does it easily, and she's done it in a multitude of different ways: mental comps, physical comps. So she is just one of my BB goats for sure.
That's awesome. Now, speaking of the comps, it was really tough to see you struggle with some of them. And you said you had the yips, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
Um, as like an athlete, how did that and your performance in the comps change how you approach the game?
I definitely used the fact of my perception of being an athlete and winning comps as a way to get into a lot of alliances early. But since I lost a lot of comps, I actually used that to my advantage, not like a threat to people. It allowed me to get past and use my social game a lot and my charisma to get close to all the HOHs and put the targets up that I want without them putting me on the block. So I kind of flipped it to it being my advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to see that social game play out. If you had made it into one of those final 2 chairs, how do you think it would have gone? What would have been your pitch?
Yeah, my pitch would have definitely been my social game. Getting in close with Makensy, getting in close with Chelsie, getting in close with Leah, manipulating the HOHs ever since T-Core won HOH all the way up until now. Getting them to put the targets up that weren't me and getting all of my threats out and having the majority of the house protect me and only touching the block 3 times. So that would have been my pitch. Me and Chelsie were super close, so I would have definitely threw the loyalty pitch and the fact that I did manipulate Chelsie into putting Quinn up. So that's probably would have been my game move that I would have talked about.
Was your vote tonight always going to be for Chelsie because of that A1 day one?
Um, I I like to say that I was unbiased. But Chelsie is my girl, and she did kill the speech. So with that, I had to give her my vote.
Was there a moment during her speech or during her answers to the jury where you're like, she won my vote right there. She said this sentence and it really clicked with me.
Just the fact that she played a whole game socially, she won comps, and she just was strategically smart in every way from day 1 to day 90. So just that she played a whole game altogether is probably why she got my vote. That's why she got my vote.
Mm-hmm. You also got to see Mackenzie's game up close. So what is your assessment of watching her play the game and her performance tonight?
Makensy is a beast, and she has the clutch factor. When she needed to win a competition, she won. So I respect Makenzie's game so much. if Chelsie didn't win, Makensy definitely was the second to deserve to win. She got hot towards the end, and she got Tucker out in the AI arena. So I respect Makensy's game so much because she is a beast, and she won when it counted.
Did Makensy not taking you impact your vote at all?
Not really. I knew that Makensy and Chelsie had a really good relationship. I knew it was a long shot, but I tried to campaign the week before to get Makensy to take me because Chelsie had very good jury management at that time. But inevitably, it didn't work, and I got booted out.
Now, you are famous for shouting out your dogs in the crib every week. People love it. But you've also had so many strong relationships. Like now you have dogs in the Big Brother house. Uh, what relationships are you going to be taking far beyond this game?
Oh, obviously, Chelsie. That's A1 since day one. That's going to be my dog. Makensy, that's always going to be my dog. Tucker, for sure. He was my best friend in this house. That's always going to be my dog for sure. Brooklyn, I got very close with. Cedric, I got very close with. The whole Pentagon Alliance. Quinn as well. So I think there's a lot of relationships that I will continue to pursue outside of here, but mostly Tucker, Chelsie, Brooklyn, and Cedric, would I say.
Yeah, speaking of the Pentagon, like you went on a whole journey through this season. As you said, you formed these really strong alliances. You guys were really running the house in those first couple of weeks. And then everything flipped with Chemo and Tikor flipping that vote. How did you have to adapt your game that following week?
I had to be very poised. I had to look like my whole alliance and my whole game getting blown up. It didn't phase me. I had to be very poised and composed under pressure. And then I had to rely on my social game. I knew that after Tikor won that HOA, she probably would put me up. And then me, after winning that veto, I knew that I had to get my social game back up and get people back in my pocket. And that is a thing that I did. And inevitably, I lost a lot of comps and it helped me. But that was always my goal from the start.
Mm-hmm. I liked your jury question to Chelsie. How did you pick what you were going to ask her?
I wanted to see that they weren't playing each other's game. They have been very close. Myself, Chelsie, and Makensy have been working as a trio since probably Tucker got out, so day 45. So I wanted myself and the jury to see that they weren't playing the same game, whether Chelsie says it or Chelsie doesn't say it. I wanted to see the difference.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are you taking away from this Big Brother experience?
That I can handle pressure in a variety of different ways. The Big Brother house is way different than playing football. It is so much more pressurized. It is way different than I thought, but I can handle it. And I can come out with my chin held high and know that I made it to the top three and that I can be very proud of that.
What was the moment in the game where you felt the pressure the most?
I would probably say that veto that I won when Tikor was HOH. I knew that Tucker had an alliance that he was working with. I know that Makensy was always good at competitions when it came to pressurized moments, so I didn't want it to get to the AI arena. So I felt a lot of pressure that veto because I knew that was probably the week that I would go home.
Mm-hmm. And you delivered.
Absolutely. And that was going to be part of my pitch when I was in a jerk, when I was top two, but I got booted before. So,
would you like to play this game again? And if so, is there any way that you would approach it differently?
Absolutely. I would love to play Big Brother again. It is a crazy experience and an experience that a lot of people don't get to experience. So I would love to do it again. And if I could do something different, I would love to win some more competitions.